it's Yvonne and welcome to Having You On. It's time for another edition of In the Crib. Today's video is a how-to video of how to add magnets for double hair bows. So what I mean is adding magnets to each side of the Reborn's head so you can use both the kind that have where you add a magnet to the bow, as well as the kind that have like a metal backing to them, so you can use both types of bows on two sides of the head of the Reborn. Never been able to do it before. Let's find out how I did it. I had this idea on putting in double magnets. So I'd never been able to do it before because as I tried to put the magnet in the head, it would pop off to the other side, and then I have the magnets only on one side and not the other. And it wasn't until I saw Kymberlee's Cocoon's technique for how she puts in magnets inside her Reborns for pacifiers, and then I had an aha moment, and I went, oh, that's the trick for putting in double magnets for bows. First thing you're going to need is some very powerful magnets. These are really, really strong magnets. So you're going to need really strong magnets, and you're going to need zip ties for the neck because you're going to be taking apart the Reborn, and you're going to need some tools. I have these tools I use to clip the existing zip tie, and it'll help me feed it through. I'll show you how to do all that. And of course you're going to need some glue to glue on the magnets inside the head. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start off by cutting the existing zip tie that's holding on Lulu's head, and I'm going to fish out the end. There's the end, and I can get it exposed so I can clip it. And I'm going to clip that now. Just like that, and I can now take her head. So, all right, I'm going to come back after I've removed all the stuffing inside. Well, I've just about removed all the stuffing from inside of her head. I just want you to get a little peek. And I have found that I've moved enough of the material out of the way so I can get the magnets in the place that I need to have them. Like most Reborn artists do is they root the hair and then they glue, and then they put the weight in a nylon bag, and sometimes the nylon bag gets stuck to the top of the head because the glue isn't quite dry. Well, don't worry about taking that bag out, because also you wouldn't want to risk weakening the glue that holds the hair in. So I can work around that because I can just scoop the bag out of the way, and you'll see how I do that. So I have my stack of magnets, and I removed just one because you only need one to insert inside the head. So I'm going to show you the little trick. This is where Kymberlee's Cocoon comes in. She showed using a feeding spoon, and I thought, well, that's really cool. And I don't really have that feeding spoon, but I have lots of plastic spoons, and even better is if I get glue on the spoon, I could just throw it away. So, okay, I'm going to place the magnet down. I know that this top side is the magnetism side, and I'm going to place a little glue on there. Okay, so here's my little quick tip. I'm going to place an empty spoon with no magnet on it inside her head to make sure that I can get in the position into the spot where I'm going to be putting the magnet. So I could feel the spoon right there, so I know. So I have my spoon ready, and I have the magnet loaded up with lots of glue, probably more glue than I need, but I have lots of glue on there, and it's a little bit sticky, so it's not going to slide around. That's good. And I'm going to take my stack of magnets. I'm going to hold it in place into that bald spot that I've already picked out, and I'm going to place it right, I think it's this side. I've lost track now. Let's give it a try. And I'm going to insert it through her head and bring it up to the spot that I want. And if it doesn't work, you just flip it over. There we go. And it makes a little click sound. And I've got her magnet in. All right, Lulu's ready for her second bow placement. I already have the glue loaded on the spoon, and I have the magnet in position. I looked at her face to determine where to place the magnet. Again, it's in a kind of a balding spot in the front. And I'm going to feed the spoon through with the magnet, but I have to hold it at the same time. I have to hold the magnet, and I'm going to feed it through and get it into position. So push it all the way up in, and wait for the magnet to catch. There it goes. It makes a little click sound. You can actually feel it pop. And there she is. And I just let it dry. Let it dry overnight is best, or at least for a few hours. Okay, and again, if you're not happy with the position, you can just simply use the spoon and sort of lift up these stack of magnets and scoot it just a little bit so you get it just right to your liking. And I'm just going to let her set. I wanted to show you, this is the old clipped zip tie. I'm about to put in the new zip tie, and I want to make sure I put it in the same position so it'll be really easy to feed through, like another extra tip. So once I fit it through, I know what direction I'm going. I can take out the old one. I have the other one partially guided through, and I'm going to feed the new one through. It'd be easier if you take the clothes off the Reborn. Yeah, but I'm just going to feed it through, and it is easier once you know the direction. The old one was. And feed it through. You may want to go around and around, moving around the Reborn to do this. Yeah, feeding it through. There we go. Okay, I got that, and I'm just going to not tighten it all the way. I'm just going to feed it through to get it started before I reattach her head. So just going to get it started a little bit. Not get it too tight. And so, see? Okay, I'm going to go put her head back on. I just put all the polyfill back into her head. I'm going to reattach her head. This is a good time if you wanted to change anything to do with the body. It's a good time to do while you have the head off. But I think she's just ready to put her head back on. She has a really nice neck ring on, so that makes it easy. And I want to make sure that the zip cord goes into this upper area, not down here, because then it would stay on. So I'm going to go ahead and put her head back on, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to be tightening this, the zip line, the zip cord. I keep calling it zip line. You want to tighten the zip cord as you go, and checking to make sure that the cord is going to go in the upper region of that neck ring. Not all Reborns will have neck rings, but there's still, in the sculpt itself, you can tell where it would go. There's an indentation for the zip cord to fit into. And I just tighten it until I have the head on, just on, to make sure, yeah, and make sure her head is loose enough so I can turn it if I want. Well, I tightened the zip cord only tight enough so it allows movement of her head and still keep her head on. Now I have to clip it. I just clipped the cord off, and I'm going to feed it. I fed it through the casing again. Yeah. Here's Lulu all put back together again. Good as new. And I left the magnet for you to see where her little hair bow is going to go. So I just lift it off, and I place her hair bow right there, and it stays right there. It's so cute. And do the same to the other side. I lift it off, and I place the little hair bow. There she is with her two hair bows. So sweet. About the double hair bows is for photo shoots, and you can position the Reborn in different positions and still kind of get a shot of the hair bow. So it's great. I love it. I just love the spoon technique. So give it a try. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Please subscribe, because you never know what's going to happen next.